Go, Ebenezer. Watch this, me dear. It'll make your eyes pop out like warts on a mangle wurzel.
Is it true that he can do it further than anyone else in the county?
4 points of scrumpy and there's no holding him. Come on here, Buffy, go. Let fly.
Hang on.
Oh.
Hang on. I'm working up to it. Any minute now. Stand back. Here I go.
Fantastic!
That was an excerpt from Across the River and Into the Trees, the famous golfing sequence. Now it's time for the first of a new series. We present Kenneth Williams, Hugh Paddick, and Joan Sims in...
Yeah, stop messing about.
Yes, it's Stop Messing About, the first all-nude radio show. Nervous listeners are advised to keep their eyes closed during the performance, and you're reminded that it's forbidden to take photographs.
They don't want to hear all that. It's me, they want me. And they want me soon. And what I want to know is how long do I have to hang around with no clothes on, waiting to give my all to the waiting millions?
I was only trying to build up my part a little.
Well, if you feel you absolutely have to.
And it's all right for you.
You?
Mr. Paddick, if you don't mind.
Well, if that's how it's going to be, I'll put my edge-to-edge Donegal tweed back on again.
Yes, good idea. Oh, look, he's been sitting on the radiator again.
Oh, I do think it's so embarrassing working in the nude. I mean, it's so cheap, isn't it? And there's nowhere to put your hands.
They've taken leave of their senses.
Disgrace.
This other fella on the show. Who's he?
Who?
Him over there.
Him? Oh, that's her, Joan Sims.
No.
Yes.
Sorry, Joan, I didn't recognise you without your clothes on.
Hello, Hugh. Well, how nice to see a familiar face. I mean, how nice to think that we'll be seeing such a lot of each other.
Leave it, Ducky, leave it.
I'm sorry, but I am a bit flustered. I've just had a rather unnerving experience with the Max Harris group.
Yes. I knew there'd be trouble having nude musicians. Bad enough when they take their bicycle clips off, but when anything else...
No, it wasn't like that, which is a bit worrying. No, it's the poor man who plays the tuba. He says the feel of the cold brass is playing havoc with his embouchure.
Well, that's his problem. Look, I'm freezing standing here, not getting any laughs. Let's slip into something rather long and formal.
Oh, good idea. Now, what do you suggest?
An announcement from Douglas Smith.
And about time, too. Ladies and gentlemen, bounding forward, exuding pink warmth from my ring of confidence, it's 2 up, 2 down, and 1 out the back. Your very own Douglas Smith presenting you with my pull-out supplement. Specially fixed to the rest of the show with elastic, so that it snaps back into place when you're finished with it. First, the show's resident resting actor, Thespian Boot, with this week's Shopper's Guide.
Hello. Last night I attended a gala opening of a new supermarket in Shaftesbury Avenue. I found my way to the greengrocery department, directed by the young avant-garde manager, Dominic O'Bicep. I had a good feel of the fruit. And as so often in the past, I was struck by the tomatoes. The tinned locusts and champagne were not up to the standard the ordinary housewife has come to expect, though I must say, it is good to see freeze-dried guano back in the West End after such a long absence. Meat! Well, I like a good mince as well as the next man. But on this occasion, I bought 5 pounds of white offal.
That's a lot of tripe.
If that's the way you feel, I'll go.
Well done.
Grace, reduced to this a man of my talents.
What talent?
Yes, my fooling here was the talk of the old witch. I was Titania, you know.
Yes.
Chic again.
Page 2 of the supplement, holiday tips.
Mrs. R.B. of Penge wants to go skiing this year, but her husband prefers potholing. Luckily, there is a solution. I'm sending you details of McConaughey's 14-day, all-inclusive potholing on skis holiday.
Shark fishing the Cairngorms. It's a real He-Man sport with brawny local fishermen showing you how it's done.
Nice.
Then there's the French Riviera.
Nice.
Cheaper than clever with Mucket's Tours, who've brought a new meaning to the term package holidays.
They send you by partial post.
For those with very little time to spare, try water skiing on the Round Pond at Hampstead.
What about the Canaries?
Leave them at home, they don't like water.
Time now for our musical spot. Once in every decade, something thrilling bursts forth to astound the musical public. And we're all praying it won't happen again today. As we bring you our new singing group, Peter, Paul and Mrs. Nosepoultice.
Oh, get out of the way, oh, doctor, he's a shiftless idol. He's a shiftless idol, doctor,
Thank you. Before you actually get going, perhaps you tell us a little about yourselves. For instance, surely Mrs. Nosepoultice isn't your real name.
Well, no, it's Peter, actually.
I'm Mrs. Nosepoultice. My introduction to show business was when I became the first topless fish fryer in Fulham.
Sounds dangerous.
It was. And with the money I got from the Industrial Accident Board, I bought a guitar. It was then I met Paul.
She was young, vital and trendy. Vital. Well, she was vital to me. We formed a trio, but somehow there was something missing.
There was only 2 of us.
Yes, that's where I come in to make the numbers up. I've been making them up ever since. Remember numbers like 25 hours from Tulsa?
25?
Yeah, we was going the wrong way.
Yes. What are you going to sing for us today?
Well, our main repertoire consists of 3 songs. 2 of them are Hang Down Your Head, Tom Dooley, and the other one isn't.
Well, let's have the other one.
Right. We picked this one up in the Appalachian Mountains.
Yeah, you should be surprised, the things you can pick up there.
It's in the folk idiom. It does have a touch of R and B, but we cleared it up with penicillin.
Originally, it was a cowboy's lament to his dead saddle, but our version goes something like this.
As I walked out in the streets of Laredo, as I walked out in Laredo one day, I thought to myself, there is something not right here. The bus that I got on said Tooting Broadway.
I can see by your outfit that you're a commuter.
Said a man at the bus stop, waving his stick.
Come sit down beside me and hear my sad story, for I was a-going to old Hackney Wick.
We wandered together the streets of Laredo, but no bus inspector was anywhere seen. Then we spied a young maiden in its scarf and glasses. She said,
Am I right? Is this Williston Green?
the 3 of us wandered the streets of Laredo, cursing the buses that brought us this pain. Decided diversions at Acton had caused it. Next time we'll all go by the underground train.
And now it's Crackerjack and Nori with Mother Time. When the music stops, Maud Nethersoul, alias Pixie Hot Muffin, will be here with another of her stories.
Hello, Tinies, and Biggies too. And a special hello to the in-betweenies who don't know whether they're fish fowl or good red herring. Today's story is specially for you, and it's called Arthur and Martha. Arthur and Martha were twins who were so much alike that even their mummy wasn't sure which was which. Come to that, neither were they. There was really only one difference between them. On the pocket of Arthur's pinny it said, Arthur. And on the pocket of Martha's pinny it said, Martha. So that was how they knew. But one day when Mummy had sent them to look for primroses in the fast lane on the Chiswick flyover, a big Rolls Royce drove past and splashed mud all over them. Splish! Splosh! all over their little pockets. And Arthur said,
I'm a fitted boy, so
but Martha didn't know.
and she said,
So they ran home and asked Mummy. And she said, well, it's no good asking me. We'll have to wait till Daddy comes home. Well, Daddy scratched his head and said, well, the only way to find out is to take off their pennies and wash them. And what do you think they found? Both of them had on the wrong pennies. Or words to that effect. Now, wasn't that a lovely story?
Absolute rubbish.
And now I think it's time we all got ready for bed.
She must be joking.
So here's a little song we can all sing while we are unbuttoning our pennies. The grand old Duke of York, he had 10,000 men.
I see.
He marched them up to the top of the hill and he marched them down again.
Chacun a son goût.
And when they were up, they were up. And when they were down, they were down.
And this is meant for children.
And when they were only halfway up, they were neither up nor down.
Yeah. Well, it's certainly not suitable for adults.
They were neither up nor down.
You sure this is not a fella?
Next, we present the first in a series of film adaptations under the general title of Groovy Movie. Oh, it's pathetic. This week, a story of the corridors of power and of the small rooms off the corridors of power, of the men in the small rooms off the corridors of power, and of the women behind the men in the small rooms off the corridors.
Oh, get on with it. Stop padding your part, hanging it out like that.
We present Kenneth Williams as Johnnie Clogg, an ambitious young politician who would put his hand to anything.
No glove for Johnnie.
This is a story about the Houses of Parliament. Old, familiar, and a little shabby, perhaps, but we're going to tell it just the same.
I'm Botulinus Lackluster, Prime Minister of Great Britain. I'm a dedicated, selfless man of sound judgment.
Any resemblance between this character and any living politician is hardly likely to occur to anyone.
The tale really begins on by-election day in Slagheap South. After 7 recounts, the results are just about to be announced.
Mrs. De Vere, Stoots Fumbling, Conservative, 1. Mr. Johnnie Clogg, Labour, 2.
Oh, they're an apathetic lot in this constituency.
I therefore declare that the said Mr. Clogg is duly elected Miss Strawberry Ripple 1900. No, wait a minute, that was yesterday. To serve as Member of Parliament for Slagheap South. That's it, yes.
Oh, fool. Ladies and gentlemen, you can well imagine what I'm feeling at this moment. During this campaign, certain vicious, ugly smear tactics have been used, but my win today has fully justified them. Yes. I shall do my best to represent all of you, including those in the Conservative Party, but I feel especially responsible for those in Labour. Thank you.
I well remember the day young Clogg arrived at the House of Commons. As was customary, he came to see me immediately. Just a minute, I'm in Cabinet.
Sorry.
I finished studying the white paper on our post-war roll. And then I went out to greet the lad.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Prime Minister, sir.
Oh, please, please. Let's make it PM, shall we?
If you say so. Good afternoon, Mr. Prime Minister, sir. I've always admired you, sir. You've been my hero. In my opinion, you're one of the most outstanding politicians England has ever produced.
That's what I like, Clog. Constructive criticism. Come and meet some of our colleagues.
Oh, rather.
Oh, hello there. Barbara Buttress. I'm prominent on the left.
Yes?
Yes, so you're Clog, Slag Heap South, eh? How do you stand on nuclear missiles?
Would you believe carefully?
Good, very good, yes. Now, as you probably know, I'm Minister of Advanced Technology, Chairman of the Subcommittee on Industrial Reorganisation, and outside left in the House of Commons, five-a-side freestyle nude limbo dances.
At this juncture, my many fans will thrill to the knowledge that I, Douglas Smith, BBC announcer extraordinaire, have not given up my acting career. No, I play the aforementioned Houses of Parliament. It's a taxing part. That one just slipped out.
Well, slip it back in again before anyone notices.
I have 2 chambers, and my Big Ben is one of the sights of London. My extension runs right under Bridge Street and almost reaches the Cenotaph. Hundreds of politicians bustle through my many passages, and I've got a bobby in my lobby.
Congratulations!
As the months passed, young Johnnie Clog learned all about a politician's life.
Mine, as a matter of fact, but he couldn't prove out.
Johnnie was a good MP. His constituents came to him with all their problems.
It's not right, Mr. Clog. They push things through my letterbox.
Who?
The postman. Eviction notices they are. The landlord's trying to get me out. Wild, noisy parties every night. Cooking smelly foods on the landing and swearing and cursing. I'm entitled to do these things if I want to. I've been there 30 years.
Where exactly is this?
The YMCA.
Yes, well, I'll raise it in the house next time I get a chance. And next, please.
I represent the Slag Heap South Clean Up TV Society, Mr. Clog.
Yeah.
We all get together of an evening and then we then we
Watch it?
Yes, the television. There's too much violence on the telly. I think you should stop it, Mr.
I'm
Clog.
terribly sorry, it's force of habit.
Yes. Well, as I was saying, sitting there night after night, watching these plays full of sex and violence, I've decided to take steps, and I want you to help me.
To do what?
Become a television actor.
Johnnie was fast learning the little tricks of parliamentary procedure that can help a man advance his career. He started going out with the Prime Minister's only daughter, Gwendolen.
Oh, Johnnie, you've shown me something that I didn't know existed. There's a warmer side to you.
I've had my back to the fire. Oh, Gwen, have you any idea how much I earn?
Yes, darling. 3,250 a year.
Sometimes, Gwen, I think you're a little mercenary. I don't know what it is. The beard, perhaps, the battle dress, the Sten gun, perhaps.
Oh, Johnnie, you're so gay.
Gwen, I have a question I want to ask. Will you?
She said yes. And 2 months later, he asked her to marry him. The reception was held at number 10. Number 10, Sebastopol Terrace, Kilburn.
Well, I wasn't having that lot clumping about in Downing Street. Johnny, my new son-in-law, buttonholed me in a corner.
Mr. Prime Minister, sir, Daddy, now that I'm in the family, so to speak, what about a job in the government? I mean, they all do it, don't they? I've got something to offer the party.
He had. It was a private detective report listing the number of times I've paired with a lady member for Twickenham West. All right, lad, I'll create an opening for you. Go and get packed for your honeymoon. I looked around the crowded room, wondering who I could axe.
Hello, Botulinus.
Oh, not likely. I wouldn't axe you in a month of Sundays.
Where are the happy couple, then?
Upstairs, getting their things together.
Oh, they're off. They're off already, are they? So you're all set to axe somebody, eh? Well, how about one of these two coming over? They look a likely pair.
Oh, hello. I'm the Home Secretary. This is my friend Black Roll.
Hello! Oh, it's lovely. Oh, is it? Yes, it's a parliamentary privilege to value your performance on the front bench.
Oh, thank you. What have you two been doing lately?
Gambling, Bill, love. Giving us trouble.
Oh, he's a fool to himself, is that Bill?
Well, I didn't realise you were interested in gambling.
Oh, yes. My friend here, he once had a go at Monty, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yes, had a go at Monty.
Well-
Go on, tell her. Tell her. Tell her.
Oh, I don't think I should.
Go on, get it out. Get it out.
I don't...
Go on, you'll feel better for
Oh,
it.
all right!
Yes.
Go on at me.
Go on.
Yes, Monty. Monte Carlo. I'd gone down there on a package. Just me and my mates.
Yes, his mates, him and his
Yes.
mates, Justin, Serge and Clint.
Clint, yes.
Clint.
Clint. Well, Clint had this infallible system, see.
Infallible sister. A roulette.
Roulette, yes, roulette. His system was we added our ages together.
At their ages.
Yes,
you
we
see.
divided by 3, added the number of the flight of the airplane, subtracted the number of surgery's room at the hotel, divided by the number of creme de menthe frappes we'd had at lunchtime, and multiplied that by the number of golf teeth what the croupier had.
It was infallible. Infallible it was.
infallible.
Infallible, love.
Oh.
Imagine the scene.
Oh, yes.
Can you imagine the scene? The Monte Carlo casino, red gilt and plush, glittering chandelier,
Yes.
carpet halfway up your lallies.
Oh,
the whole,
Yes.
the whole atmosphere of decadent elegance. Oh, savouring not a little of the distinctly fantabulous.
Oh, what? Then come the denouements.
Oh.
Denouement. You can say that.
The denouement.
Oh, it's
the denouement.
French.
That's your French.
Denouement, yes.
Oh.
Our calculations had arrived at number 32, and all our savings was on it. The wheel spun.
The wheel spun.
Spun, the little ball dropped. Click! Number 28! We lost a lot.
But I thought you said the system was infallible.
So it was, Ducky, but tell her, go on, tell her what you've done.
Can't bring myself to.
Go on,
No.
tell her what you've done.
I'd lied about my age.
Meanwhile, back at the sketch, the Prime Minister was still looking for someone to act.
Hang on. These character changes done off. Do have it with me, Beetle wig. Now, it's better now. Where was I?
You are the Prime Minister.
Oh, yes.
I sacked someone, but who? Even as I spoke, Sir Hugh Bullet, the Minister of Education, approached.
Hello, Gov. It's a smashing nosh what you laid on. Bit low on the booze, though, eh? A bit low, eh?
Bullet.
Bullet.
How long have you been my Minister of Education?
Well, now, let's see. 1 and 5, that's, wait a minute. 4, no, I tell a lie. 32 days, hath September, April, June, and take away 3. Oh, ask me another.
Oh, I don't think I'll bother. Bullet, you're sacked.
Oh, wait, shouldn't I be fired? I mean, Bullet. Fired. See, you get it?
All right, Bullet, you're fired.
I don't think that's very funny, you dirty, conniving, dirty, filthy, living, dirty, filthy swine.
The PM reshuffled the cabinet immediately and made young Johnnie Postmaster General.
Right, now, here's what I propose. We put perforations round the edges, a watermark on the front, and glue on the back.
Oh, but darling, is that wise for telephone boxes?
And I've got plenty of other schemes for increasing the size of my surplus. Oh, yes. Oh, chair-a-planes round the post office tower. Telephone bingo. If you get the number dialed, you win a prize. Pillar boxes without slots for people who can't write. A grand sale of shop soil postal orders at half the price. The power! The power!
He was the worst Postmaster General the country's ever had. Anyway, he was having trouble both in his marriage and in his work.
Oh, Daddy, his performance on the floor of the house leaves a lot to be desired. Daddy, you've got to speak to him.
Aye. Look here, Clog. You're greedy, clumsy and incompetent, cunning and conniving. You leave me no choice.
No, you can't mean...
Aye, I'm making you Prime Minister. You're even better suited for the job than I am. Ginger, piece of me.
Mr. Williams appeared by kind permission of the Royal Shakespeare Salt Beef Bar. Mr. Paddock featured from time to time, but we hope nobody noticed. Miss Sims, the delectable Miss Sims, added that soupçon of glamour without which the whole thing would have been so much tawdry dross.
Oh, thank you, Douglas. I like older men with a touch of sang-froid.
He's got more than a touch of it, dear. He's riddled with it.
That was Stop Messing About with Kenneth Williams, Hugh Paddock, Joan Sims and the Max Harris Group. The script was by Johnnie Mortimer and Brian Cooke and Myles Rudge. The producer was John Simmons.
Ha-ha! So your poor, frail old mother cannot pay the mortgage. I shall fling you both out into the snow as sure as my name's Squire Jasper. Unless you agree to be mine. All mine, me proud beauty. Come on. Come on. Give me your answer now.
Oh, anything for Mummy, but I think you got the wrong house.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present Kenneth Williams, Hugh Paddock and Joan Sims in...
Right, stop messing about.
Yes, it's Stop Messing About, introduced as always by your and my favourite announcer, Douglas Hot Lips Smith.
No, he's not.
Twice winner of the Douglas Smith Award for charm and grace of movement. President of the Friends of Douglas Smith Society.
Raving megalomaniac.
No!
I will now sing If I Ruled the World.
Are you raving mad? You're here to announce, not sing.
You're going to be like that. I shall retire to the announcer's room and practice my articulation. Makes dignified exit with head held high.
I hope he draws the curtains. Look at him trying to walk tall again.
He's getting ideas above his station.
I blame that Joan Sims, you know. She's been egging him on.
Oh, never.
Oh, that a weakness for announcers she has. It's the Queen's Polari she goes for. Oh, definitely. Yeah, take that Robert Dougal on TV. When that phone rings in the middle of the news, it's always her ringing him up. Oh, no wonder he always looks so embarrassed. Yeah. Oh, she's shameless. She is shameless.
Oh, hello, Joanie. Oh, how lovely to see you.
Yeah, smile when you say that.
I was. Smile anymore, the top of my head will fall off.
Well, if it does, dear, wait for the laugh before you pick it up.
Oh, Miss Sharp out the knife box. Oh,
Listen, why have you two been upsetting Douglas?
upsetting him. We haven't, have we, you? No.
Well, then why has he gone all pink round the back of his neck?
Because it's vain about the collar size.
I heard that. Moves boldly forward in brackets, filling the assembled company with terror and dread. And now we turn with infinite relief to our town and country section.
First, let's hear how number 13 Belsize Park News is coping with a problem that concerns all of us.
Oh, Tristan, it's so good. Do you mind if we put on the writing book?
Jessica, you're still not worrying about China. It's all the same when you see Panorama. We both get asleep this night. What's the matter, Jessica?
I find it much easier to tell you if you weren't looking at me, Tristan.
All right. I look at the picture of Chuenlai you gave me for Christmas.
Oh, please don't. That makes it even harder. You see, I've done the most hideously unprogressive thing. I've given notice for our Spanish au pair. 1st
Jessica, give a notice to Concepcion. Yes. Is it because he keeps writing hands off Gibraltar on the bathroom mirror?
No, it's not that.
Because he's persuaded our eldest child to become a nun?
Oh, no, he'll get over it. It's a phase they all go through.
Then why have you given Concepcion notice?
Well, you know we said that by exposing her to our liberal-minded, forward-looking, progressive way of life, that some of it might rub off.
Yes. And God knows I've cried with her, Jessica.
I know you have to. That's what makes it so ghastly. You see, when I was doing out her room this morning, she told me.
To do what, Jessica?
She's joined the Young Conservatives.
And now for our country section, a rare privilege. The Earl of Shotterley has graciously offered to show us his ancestral seat.
Welcome to Tolpurgis Hall. As I stand here by the window of the weapons room, you may be interested to know what I'm holding in my hand. Of course, if this programme was on television, as it's supposed to be, you'd be able to see it. However, I'm holding in my hand a brass farthingale warmer. And it's nothing short of a public scandal that you can't actually see it. What is it, Figgins? Figgins, what is it? Oh, what? Hey?
Her ladyship and the gardener.
Oh, not again. Well, Figgins, I'm afraid there's only one thing for it. Yes, and hurry up before they ruin the lawn. Off you go. Now this charming piece. You'll notice if I shake it, it rattles. Oh dear, a bit of it's dropped off. Anyway, my coat of arms is embossed on the lid, which of course you can't see. Neither can I. That's the bit that's dropped off. However, oh, really? Figgins, you dunderhead! I meant him, not her. Don't be impertinent, Figgins. And stop waving your fowling piece. Oh, dear me. Oh, dear, there goes another bit. Well, there's not much more I can say about this brass farthingale warmer. There's not much of it left. But if anyone has a brass farthingale they would like warmed, I'm open to the public every Wednesday, 12 and 6, including a quick dip in the moat. Half a crown extra if you want to see my monk's hole.
And now it's Crackerjack and Nori with Mother Time. When the music stops, Maud Nethersoul will be back on top of her prefabricated toadstool to tell you another of her prefabricated stories.
Hello, Tinies. Now I want you all to spread out and form a great big circle, because that's what I'm doing here in the studio. Of course, in my circle, there's lots of little people I can't see, because they're fairy people. But I know they're here because fairies are everywhere. And today I'm telling a fairy story about a very naughty little gnome called Sydney, who was always getting the fairies into trouble. When they sprinkled the morning dew on the flowers, Sydney used to drink it. Then off he'd go, chasing the birds and teaching them songs that made even the robins blush. Which is why, to this very day, they all have red fronts. In the end, the fairy queen, whose name was Phyllis, sent for Sydney and said, "It has reached our royal ears that a name is getting himself a bad gnome." Or vice versa. What have you to say for yourself? And Sydney said,
"The very boys have a funny time.
and the queen said, "I see. Then it is our royal wish that you open a fairy cobbler's shop, where you can bang away to your heart's content."
Sir, that's what it is. And now, while the tinies are going up the wooden hill to Bedfordshire, here's a song.
For the slightly older children.
Oh, no, they're not going to let us sing again.
I took my love to Primrose Hill upon St. Swithin's Day, and pointed out the woody woods we passed along the way. But he wouldn't. I took my love to Turnpike Lane when Halloween was nigh. I thought I'd seen a twinkle in my roguish lover's eye, but I hadn't. I took my love to Potter's Bar when Michaelmas was near, but though he seemed quite willing, I'd gone off the whole idea. So we didn't.
Yes, once again, it's time for me to turn over and reveal the Douglas Smith pull-out supplement. And on page 1.
Just left of the advert for Marché d'Ayan pork pasties. We find the beef for the housewife.
Have you got an old chest that's just hanging about impressing nobody? Painted lilac and attached brass handles. Your friends will be astounded.
Say that again.
For that soft, springy feel under your carpet, there's nothing quite like dry rot.
In summer, we're all bothered by flies in the kitchen. Now, there's a very easy way to get rid of them.
Put a bucket of fertilizer in the living room.
If your pipes keep bursting, why not change to cigars?
Drawers sticking? Talcum powder on your runners will soon stop that.
And finally, a word to gardeners. If your irises are affected by early frost, try double glazing your spectacles.
Page 2. Sir Inigo Parchmatter, QC, discusses another typical legal problem.
Thank you. Now, Mr. A, in the course of his duties as a stunt pilot, had occasion, whilst looping the loop, to fall out of his aeroplane at 30,000 feet. As luck would have it, he had barely fallen 90 feet before re-encountering the aeroplane, now at the base of its loop. The propeller, chancing to catch his braces, exhibits 1 to 75, not only gave him a dizzy few moments, but also tore off his trousers and, indeed, the rest of his clothing. Otherwise unharmed, Mr. A resumed his descent, pulling at his ripcord while he still had time. Meanwhile, on the ground below, Miss B, a schoolmistress and spinster, was relaxing in her bath, anticipating nothing more stimulating than the prospect of using her new loofah. Rejoining Mr. A, we find his descent somewhat slowed down by the impact with the thatched roof of Miss B's cottage. Miss B, busily soaping her metatarsals, was somewhat put out by a naked man plummeting through the ceiling and joining her in the bath. Diffidently, she inquired of him his business. Mr. A, for it was indeed he, did his best to satisfy her curiosity, which took some considerable time.
Right in the court, please.
The case was tried at Belchester Assizes before Mr. Justice Flute, who demanded a reenactment of the entire incident because he rather liked that sort of thing. Thank you.
Once again, we open the floodgates of melody to be swept away on a tide of full-throated, bewitching song. Peter, Paul, and Mrs. Nosepoultice.
Flies in the buttermilk 2 by 2, flies in the buttermilk 2 by 2, flies in the buttermilk 2 by 2.
And blue bubbles in your yogurt.
And I'd change my milkman if I were you. Now, what plaintive ditty are you going to eviscerate for us this week?
I beg yours?
Sing.
Oh, well, here's a song we came across when we was doing a concert in Dead Man's Gulch, just outside Bootle. And it goes like this. On top of a smoky, all covered in snow, it's no place for courting at 30 below.
The snow gets in places too awful to tell.
And you feel like a sequel to Eskimo now.
Just as you get started, the temperature falls.
It freezes your fingers.
And that isn't all.
When you see Julie Andrews, then tell her, oh please.
If she climbs every mountain,
she'll come down on her knees.
She'll come down on her knees.
And now we present our film adaptation in the series we call Groovy Movie. Lately there have been a lot of hard-bitten, remorseless war stories. Here's the hardest, most bitten, and entirely lacking in morse of the lot. The Dirty Half Dozen.
The time, 1942. The place, the War Office, London. My name is Dirty. Captain Dirty of RADA. I'm an acting captain, of course.
Ah, come in, Dirty. Sit down. This may be a bit tricky.
He was right. There was no chair.
I've been looking at your record. You're a troublemaker, Dirty. Still, I feel there must be some good in you. I knew your mother, you know.
Well, you would say you're my father.
Yeah. Very tricky mission coming up, Captain.
He paced the room, his hands sunk deep in his pockets.
I want you to gather together the scum of the British Army. Warp-twisted men, the rejects, the dregs of the dregs. And then...
Not another Saturday crowd.
This time it's the Germans who are going to suffer. Listen carefully, Captain.
I've been given a very tricky and dangerous operation.
I suspected that by the way you were pacing.
No. In North Africa.
Go on, dear.
Pay attention.
Go on.
Pay attention. In North Africa, the Germans have a secret depot for storing observation balloons.
Oh.
Yes. I want you to go over there and blow them up.
1 month later, in a top-secret training establishment on an allotment in Penge, Captain Dirty took out a theodolite and surveyed his platoon.
First, there was 2375 Private Alf Parts. And if you think we're going to make anything of that, you don't know what to do.
I was court-martialed and disgraced for being AWOL. They don't like walls in the British Army. But now I have been given new hope.
Yes, in this platoon you'll have a chance to prove that you're a man. Not now, not now. I'll look at your pay book later. Oh, yes. Second in line was 9325 Private Butch O'Hooligan, a blue-jowled, foul-mouthed, hard-drinking thug.
Reporting for duty, sir.
With a rather effeminate voice.
Then there was Sergeant Hulk, a man who stood over 6 feet in his socks, but only 5'1" out of them.
Well, I've got very thick socks, and I. All right, you men. Attention. Left turn, quick march. Quick march. Oh, all right then. Simon says, quick march.
Dirty's half-dozen, or the Smutty Six as they quickly came to be known, began their training at once.
First came a long, cruel march, followed by a mild April with scattered showers and occasional rain.
Oh, shut up.
Day by day, I could see the men changing. My office was in the shower room. I say, oh, hooligan! Step over here.
Sir?
He came to attention in front of me, dripping water. There was something about him that was different. I put my finger on it immediately. Why? Come on now, why? Why are you wearing full battle dress under the shower, oh hooligan?
Well, my ground sheet's at the laundry, sir.
Ah, right, sir.
Sir, I can't stand this training, sir. This learning to kill and fight and do fancy embroidery. I'm not that sort of man. In fact, I'm not any sort of man.
No, but I like the way you're shaping, oh hooligan. 2 pages later, North Africa. A violent sandstorm has been raging for days.
Swish, swish, pow. Pitter-patter, pitter-patter. Oh, I do enjoy this, sir.
Nice. One after another, my platoon and I crawled into the bed of an old, dried-up waddy.
Oh, nasty.
The storm raged on about us.
Swish, swish. Howl, howl, swish.
Just about your mark, isn't it? A big load of wind.
Rotating rapidly on one toe and sucking up sand as I go, I throw across the desert. Men clap handkerchiefs over their noses at my approach. The Arabs have a name for me. Priscilla. And I resent it bitterly. How swish, swish.
I can't stand it. This relentless Douglas Smith howling, probing, finding its way under my uniform. No food, no water. I haven't shaved for days. Just look at my legs. Can't we take shelter?
Yeah, look over there. There's a small hotel. And wishing well, I wish that we was there together.
Yes. Oh, bridal
Thank
sweet.
you. We'll let you know.
Very good.
Thank you very much indeed. Yes, that's very good indeed. A small hotel. Yes, right. I'll knock on the door.
Greetings, Effendi. I am Mustafa Ben Hussein, owner of this small but select establishment. After the scorching sands, you must be somewhat dry.
Well, we were. I'm surprised to find an oasis here.
Ah, yes, well, there wasn't one until I came. It's very singular, you know. Whenever I set foot, the desert blossoms.
Yes, I know.
My charges are 17 and 6 a night, including shower.
We're not staying. We only want to ask the way to the secret German depot.
Oh, certainly, yes. Go straight on over the sand dunes. Sharp left by the Mirage Chabet Grey Ball. That was left behind by the 7th Welsh Fusiliers.
Yes.
The platoon marched on and...
Hold it.
Oh, gladly, monsieur.
Look! Over there, 2 figures staggering towards us through the swirling sand. Who can they be?
Oh, hello, I'm Suleiman, and this is my friend Said.
Oh, hello! Oh, how bone to shufty, you dolly old forage cat.
Well, you don't sound like Arabs to me. You sound more like a couple of Caucasians.
Oh, she bold.
No, she's right. We're British.
Yes, we got adopted by wandering bedridden Arabs.
Bedouin.
Oh, yes. Yes. We was adopted by Bedouin Arabs.
Yes.
Well, he got adopted, actually. I was more your friend of the family.
So you've travelled around a bit.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Mostly by plane. He hates boats.
Oh, I hate it. One thing I hate, it's a boat.
Yeah, tell her for why.
Tell her why.
No, I don't.
Go on, you can't keep it hidden for the rest of your life. Go on. It's gonna come out sometime. Go on. Tell her.
Yes, all right.
Go on,
Just a minute.
out.
Well, see, it was this friend of mine.
Yes.
Merchant seaman he was.
Yes. It's called Clint. Clint. Tell her his name. Tell her his name.
Clint, his name. Clint. Merchant seaman, yes.
Seaman he was.
He said he could stow me away in the bilges of his ship.
Yes, stow you away.
Because, you see, I had this hankering for foreign parts.
Yes, anchored away he did.
Yes.
Anchored away.
So me and him, we crept aboard this ship, you see.
Him clutching his seaman's manual. And me with my necessities wrapped in an oil skin. Yeah, that's right.
Then he took you down below, didn't he?
Down below, yes, he did.
Yes, imagine it, Ducky. Down below in the bilges he was. 2 whole weeks, pitch black as lallies, pressed against his chest.
Murder it was, downright. But Clint popped in every day just to keep me company. Do you know, I think I would have lost my reason if it hadn't been for Clint.
Tell her the rest. Go on. Go on, tell her what happened then. Go on. Tell her. Go on, tell her.
No, but it's hurtful.
Tell her what happened when you crept up on deck after 2 weeks. Go on.
Well, Clint, for reasons of his own, he deceived me.
Deceived him, he did.
Yes, because when I got up on deck, I realised we wasn't where I had been led to believe.
Wasn't there at all?
No.
Where were you?
Hidden on board a 5-ton cruiser at the National Boat Show.
Well, after that irrelevant diversion, we do have a sketch to get on with. Captain Dirty's platoon are surveying the secret German depot. They're hidden behind a mighty desert hillock.
Sir, I think I've got it. If we build a huge wooden camel and all hide inside it and place it outside the depot gate...
You're a Trojan horse, you mean?
No, a wooden camel. If we've done that, the Germans might set fire to it, or with bullets, or something, and then we... Anyone else got any ideas?
Leave it to me, then.
There's only one way to get into this depot. We all march in backwards, whistling Colonel Bogey. If that doesn't confuse them, nothing will.
So, English pigs. No offence, of course. Yes, you thought you would confuse us? Answer me, Sergeant. This is where your actual theatrical training comes in. Yeah, you, Rommel. It is so. Quick switch back. Ooh. Back again. Aha! Cool. Aha, so. It's hardly worth the trouble with dialogue like this.
You're too late, Rommel. Before you caught us, we planted a bomb under the main petrol dump.
I don't believe you, English dog. On the other hand, I'm prepared to keep an open mind.
With one bound, they were all free. The only casualty was verisimilitude. And one of the platoon who bought it during the fighting sold it at a profit and retired to Switzerland.
Men, there are 24,516 miles between us and Cairo.
That's the long way round, of course, but it's prettier.
They took the short route. The Germans chased them all the way. Benghazi, Tobruk.
I think we've left the Jerry behind, sir.
Oh, blast.
Euston Station.
We've blown up 15 trains, destroyed 10 miles of track, and shot all the guards, sir. And now we're... Yeah, hang on, Euston Station. Oh, no.
Would you believe we made a boo-boo?
Fortunately, the railway authorities attributed the damage to a football special from Glasgow. Mr. Paddock appeared by kind permission of the Doity Cart Ram Jam Rascals. Cigarettes were by Embankment Butts Limited, high-class specialist in used tobacco. And the delectable Miss Sims again stole the show, albeit against feeble opposition.
Oh, thank you, Douglas. You know you have a certain je ne sais quoi.
Yes, and we all know where he wears it, don't we?
Be that as it may, we leave you with one final thought.
Ladies, if your husband nibbles between meals, nibble back.
That was Stop Messing About with Kenneth Williams, Hugh Paddock, Joan Sims, and the Max Harris Group. The script was by Johnnie Mortimer and Brian Cooke and Myles Rudge. The producer was John Simmons. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, it's time to wind up our show.
Nah, stop messing about.
Down on your right.
Careful, I can't hold it.
Oh, I've got it. Now, both together. Heave!
And what on earth is that thing?
Oh, what does it look like? It's a stuffed bear, of course.
It's what this show's always needed, to have a stuffed bear in the cast. I went down on my bended lallies before the series started to plead for one.
He did?
And what was the result?
Joan Sims.
Yeah. And a tin tack in my kneecap.
Well, if you're going to turn this show into a bear garden, I'm going to ring my agent. Exits hurriedly, trying not to lose face.
Why bother? Yeah, jealous, you see. I bet he's off to hide himself a skin.
Well, he could do with a new one. Here, I hope Joan likes our bear.
Now she'll be besotted. She always fancies anything furry, Joan does. She loves fur.
Yes, well, I'm wearing quite a lot myself. And I've got its claw marks all down my back.
Ooh.
Yes.
Here, what are you going to say to your osteopath?
Oh, same as usual.
What's that?
I just come here to get unknotted.
Hello, boys. I'm sorry I'm late. Goodness, who's your friend?
Don't be like that. We only brought in to make you feel more at home.
We knew how you felt about being the only girl on the show, but now there's the two of you.
You mean that thing's a girl?
You don't think he'd be standing there like that if it was a boy, do you?
Well, I don't like it.
Well, if you're going to take that line...
I'm taking every line I can get. You have to win this show. It's every man for himself.
Hugh, didn't I say it was a fella? You see, you can always tell by the lobes of the ears. Always tell by the lobes.
Never mind my lobes. I'm not playing second fiddle to a stuffed bear. I shall take it up with equity. Get it out of here.
Get it out? We're certainly not taking it out now, are we?
No, not after the trouble we had getting it in.
Yes, we had to tell the commissioner it was Max Harris's auntie in a fur coat.
Oh, dear, it's still here, is it? Oh, well, I suppose I shall just have to grin and bear it. Oh. Nevertheless, it's Crackerjack and Ori with Mother Time. When the music stops, Maud Nethersoul will be here with another of her tales out of school.
Hello, Tinies. Now today, I've got a friend with me. I wonder who he is. Well, if we all keep very quiet and listen, we'll be able to hear what my friend is doing. Do you know who my friend is? Of course you do. He's a little bee, isn't he? Yes, he is. Mind you, not all bees are little. Some are very big and are called bumblebees and have black and orange stripes all over their rear ends. But today's story is about a very small bee called Roger. One day his mother said, "Oh, Roger, you are a little bee, but I think it's time you left the hive and started making some honey." And Roger said,
Fuzzy Buddy Wow, and this is my name.
And his mother said, "Nonsense. You'll find all the basic ingredients in the flowers. Now buzz off. I'm busy." So, Roger flew off into the garden and landed on a dahlia called Ethel. And he had a jolly good look into Ethel's petals to see if she had any honey. But she hadn't, because some other bee had been there first. And poor Roger burst into tears. Just then, Mr. Centipede walked past, which took about half an hour. And he said, "Hello, what's the matter, you poor little chap?" And Roger said, "I see," said Mr. Centipede. "Well, if that's what you're after, I know a lonely wallflower who's absolutely loaded. She'll love to meet a bee of your size. Just mention my name." And do you know, Roger and the wallflower had the most rewarding relationship. All summer long, he was popping in and out of her pistils and stamens. And come the autumn, Mr. Centipede took one look at the wallflower's seed pods, and he said, "Aha, we all know the reason for that. It's Roger the Lodger, the little bee." Now, isn't that a lovely story?
That's a disgrace.
And now, I expect some of us are feeling like bed.
Speak for yourself.
So here's a good night song from the Pixie Hot Muffin Songbook for Swinging Tinies.
No wonder this show's getting a bad name.
A soldier came a-wooing, all he had was half a crown. I said there's nothing doing, so it's not worth sitting down. With a rifle, 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 rifle dee. A sailor came a-calling, all he had was 6 and 8. I said it's too appalling, will you kindly shut the gate? With a rifle, 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 rifle dee. A peddler came a-peddling, and of money he had none. Of course we're nearly starving, but we have a lot of fun. With his rifle, 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 rifle dee. With his rifle, 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 rifle dee.
Once again, all eyes turn to my amazing pull-out supplement. And on page 1, we find the Earl of Shotterley waiting to show us round his aristocratic home.
Welcome to Toll
Purchase Hall. In the limited time at my disposal, I shall try and describe something very precious to me. I've recently had it restored. Yes, and it now hangs in all its former glory in the main hall. It's a portrait of the Duchess of Cheddar, a woman of voracious appetite, known locally as the Cheddar Gorge. Yes, but the Duchess was painted by an Italian, Paolo Graffiti, whose work is on the walls of some of the finest buildings in Europe. Lovely, it's in this painting. What is it, Figgy? I can't, not now.
And in the pink drawing.
Tell her I'm in the middle of my discourse. Yes, I'll be up in a minute. Yes. Don't be impertinent, Figgins. Where was I? Oh, yes. In this painting, the Duchess is shown to great advantage as a wood nymph. A wood nymph celebrating the arrival of spring with a lusty shepherd lad who's inviting her to sample his luncheon basket. Yes, she's asking if the grass is damp, understandable, because she's only wearing a garland of sweet peas and a picture hat. When we had her cleaned recently, something very interesting come to light. The words, Kilroy was here, in a most singular place. On that tree in the background.
I'm sorry, my lord, I'm afraid it's time for you to close.
Close? I'm not a four-ale bar. I'm a belted earl.
In that case, my lord, belt up.
How dare you? I'm Lloyd George, knew my father, and my father knew my... Yes.
Page 2, Correspondence Corner.
For some weeks I have been cleaning my teeth with a mixture of ground-up pumice stone and sulfuric acid. I now realise that this was a mistake. What can I do?
You'll just have to grit your gums and accept the situation.
I have just passed my test. Does that mean I can now go and try it on the motorway?
I'm toying with the idea of having my head removed. The thing is, I wouldn't be able to see if it suited me, would I?
Besides which, how would you smoke your pipe?
Ah, well, I've had some thoughts about that, you see.
I don't think I want to hear them. Any more letters?
My kiddies are having a birthday party, and I thought I'd serve a nice mousse with jelly.
What's the problem?
What do I do with the antlers?
Time now for a new spot in our programme entitled Vardaying Back, in which famous personalities recall their early days in their chosen career.
Oh, hello, I'm Marvello, mind reader, and this is my glamorous assistant, Wanda.
Oh, hello.
Wanda, but you're a chap.
Ah, he's spotted my little gimmick.
I'm not surprised. I said you shouldn't have worn your airy Harris.
Did you always want to do what you're doing now?
Oh, yes. Especially him. He's got the show business background,
Oh, I
haven't
have.
you?
Yes, I have.
Yes, used to be with the circus.
Oh, yes, I
Circus.
did. Yes, I have definitely got the background, you see.
Yes.
I was born on the high wire, actually. Luckily, there was a safety net.
Yes. Say that again. Sawdust in his blood and spangles in his navel before he was 2. And all his friends were circus folk.
All my mates.
Yes, all
my
his mates. Justin, Marlon and Clint. Clint.
Clint was the ringmaster. Oh, yes. definite. It was Clint what first really attracted me to the life. Of course, I was a clown for a while.
Oh, he was a good clown. He was a good clown, not so much a cocoa, more your drinking chocolate. He'd turn his hand to anything. And did. You used to put your head in the lion's mouth, didn't you?
Head in the lion's
Head in the lion's mouth, or was it the other way round?
Then, of course, I was a strong man for a week.
Strong man he was.
Yes, tearing telephone books in half. It used to take me hours, it did.
Yes, page at a time. Then one day, his whole career crumbled.
Yeah.
Tell him for why.
Oh, I couldn't.
Tell him for why.
Couldn't it?
Go on, get it out. It's better for you.
No. All right, then. Well, it was a Saturday night, you see, and the death-defying Stromboli, who died from 200 feet through 6 fiery hoops into a bucket of water, he'd gone down with a sick headache. And Clint asked me to step into his place.
Picture the scene, the sawdust ring, the spotlights picking out the lonely figure in salmon pink tights. Yes, 200 foot up on a narrow platform, thousands of white eeks looking up at him. Oh, the fiery hoops, the drums rolling, the moment of truth had come. Would he do it? Would he dive? Would he?
No, I wouldn't.
Why not? Was it the fiery hoops or the fearful drop?
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't nothing
Go
of that.
on,
No,
tell him why you wouldn't dive.
I can't bring myself.
Tell him.
I can't bring
Go on.
Well, I just had my hair done.
Time now for music lovers to switch off, if they've got any sense. Because it's Peter, Paul, and Mrs. Nosepoultice.
Hello. Nice to see you guys.
Are you ready to delight us with another snatch of your traditional folk harmony?
No, we was going to sing.
Well, that'll have to do.
Yeah, it's a song what we learned from a gold prospector who was claiming his stake in a cafe just outside Cleethorpes.
I can hardly wait to hear it.
Good.
When I was bound apprentice on a telephone exchange, a lady kept on ringing up and acting very strange. She said,
Oh, operator, I just don't know what to do.
I asked her what she wanted and the lady answered,
You!
The supervisor said to me,
I'm getting quite enraged. The next time that your lady rings, I'll tell her you're engaged. We're running an exchange and not a marriage bureau.
Then me buzzer started buzzing and the lady said,
Hello?
Well, after several weeks I got as nervy as could be, 'cause every time I got a call a voice would say,
It's me?
I said, why don't you marry her? She's ruining your life.
Hey, that's how both of us found romance.
And how I lost me life.
And now, it's time for our groovy movie presentation. This week, the story of a woman who lived to dance. Isadora!
Isadora Bloomflannel from Hackney Wick. Ah, who remembers her now?
Well, I don't.
Neither do I.
Me neither. It's a bit awkward, that, isn't it? I tell you what, let's not do that one. Let's do the Hasty Heart. I can play the Richard Todd part. Fancy myself in a kilt.
Oh, yes, and I can play the nurse.
Yes.
And I can play the jungle.
Hang on. I remember Isadora. Yes, dear Isadora. The years roll back to 1907 when I first saw her dancing down the street.
Tra-la-la, tra-la-la, tra-la-la. I'm free.
I can't say fairer than that. Yeah. Aren't you Isadora, my dear?
How did you know?
There's something about you. I think it's that sandwich board. Yes, Isadora Bloomflannel freestyle dancing lessons. Would you consider brushing up my hokey-cokey?
Oh, certainly. Fling aside your trammels and follow me.
Right.
He flung aside his trammels, and his trousers fell down. Paris Sing-Along, for it was indeed the wealthy heir to the sing-along rowing machine fortune, took Isadora to his palatial bedsitter in Putney. There he showered her with gifts.
24 long-stemmed shovels, a diamond-studded pogo stick, a device for removing horses' hooves from Boy Scouts, and an elastic-sided nose cozy. Oh, Isadora, I'm pleading.
And I wish you wouldn't. I can't stand the sight of blood. Very well, Paris. I shall be yours.
She loved Paris in the springtime. She loved Paris in the fall. She loved Paris. Oh, why did she love Paris?
Because he was loaded, that's why.
Onions, ripe onions! Girls off wheel in bicyclette. Onions, get your onions here.
Then came the day of their first quarrel.
Isadora, for heaven's sake, must you keep dancing all the time? This dancing. Can't you ever stop? After all, we are in bed.
Well, a woman lives to dance, to laugh.
All right, but let's have a bit less of the dancing and the laughing.
Oh, certainly not. Oh, Paris, I want to teach thousands of children to dance. Give me something to open a school.
He gave her a jemmy, then left her. Isadora embarked on a grand tour of capital cities, attempting to forget.
People of Berlin.
And succeeding. On and on she pirouetted, dancing her way across Europe. Everywhere she went, men toasted her.
Why not? She's a lovely bit of crumpet. Oh, Isadora, come to Russia, where the men are men, and so are the women.
Will you give me 1,000 children?
I will do what I can. In Russia, we crave culture. All our leaders talk a lot of bullshit.
So I've heard. Very well. I will come to Russia.
At this point, I, Douglas Smith, BBC announcer par excellence.
He's off again.
Step forward to play the part of the city of Moscow.
Oh, dear.
At the moment, I'm in the grip of a hard winter, and brawny women are sweeping snow off me gawky prospect. In 1812, Napoleon retreated from me.
It's the wisest thing he ever did.
Yes, I play Moscow.
Mm-hmm.
In the interests of verisimilitude, I've stuck gold-plated onions on my head and sat in the fridge for 3 days.
Hard luck, mate. She's going to Leningrad.
She was given a gutted Tsarist palace, since the gutted Tsarist wasn't using it anymore. There, her terpsichore was unbounded.
Oh, that's a bit more comfy.
And she met the great Russian poet who was to be the love of her life, Ivan Ivanovich Volchanikov Brezhnev Kravnichovsky Rafferty.
The people's flag is deepest red. Violets are blue. I think I'd like to go to bed. How about you?
Bolshevik saucepot. Oh, Igor.
Ivan.
Don't split hairs.
I'm sorry, it's a nervous habit.
Isadora, there is something else you should know about me. I'm a manocleptiac.
You mean kleptomaniac?
No, I go into supermarkets and leave things. Isadora, your dancing school will be a success.
I don't think so. Already we're running short of funds. Come, children, let us huddle round this blazing brazier for warmth.
I think that should be brazier, Miss Sims. I mean, it's hardly like... Oh. I do beg your pardon. Times are obviously harder than I thought.
Yes, and you. Ivan, you don't help. You're such a spendthrift.
I know, I'm forever blowing rubles.
I still think we should have done the hasty heart.
Isadora left Russia. She travelled, dancing wherever she went. She danced through the streets of Rome.
Tra-la, tra-la-la.
She danced through the streets of Milan.
Tra-la, tra-la.
She danced through the streets of Venice.
Signorina, allow me to help you out of the water. I am the famous Italian painter Giovanni Topogroppo.
Attracted by the grandeur of his Rococo palazzo, she moved in with him.
He would cook me the traditional Italian dishes. Lasagna verdi, pizza napolitana, stivaloni.
Stivaloni? That's Italian for Wellington boots.
Oh, don't have to tell me, dear. I've just eaten one.
Yes, but the sauce. Isadora.
I know, I'm just going to answer it.
It was a postman with a huge parcel containing nothing less than the entire Stop Messing About orchestra and chorus, fully resolved to sing their way out of doing a tag to this sketch.
Isadora, we know you're celebrated ingenue.
All this fussle, please can rustle.
Is done nicely out of you.
And dear Vanessa,
Heaven bless her.
if she hadn't done the part, Isadora,
We'd ignore her.
We'd have done the hasty heart.
So ends this week's film adaptation. Hugh Paddick is now appearing in Hair, and it's a vast improvement. The part of Kenneth Williams was played by Robbie, the lovable robot. And Joan Sims was, as ever, a scintillating, shimmering star, stealing the spotlight with her superbly sophisticated style.
Oh, I do wish I'd had to say that. What a super sentence.
All that remains is a word from Mr. Williams.
Fortifications.
That was Stop Messing About with Kenneth Williams, Hugh Paddick, Joan Sims and the Max Harris Group. The script was by Johnnie Mortimer and Brian Cooke and Myles Rudge. The producer was John Simmons.
Hold hard, I say, your money or your life. 'Tis I, Jack Shepherd, who holds these pistols at your breast. Hold, I say, hold, for I would board thee.
I'm sorry, man. We full up inside. There's another one behind.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present Kenneth Williams, Hugh Paddick and Joan Sims in...
Stop messing about. People of the world, this is the voice of Kenneth Williams the First. Shut up. Speaking to you from a sandbagged chaise longue somewhere west of Basingstoke. Last night I sent my forces to seize control of the Houses of Parliament, the BBC and the Huffnall Park slipper baths. Well, they give you a lovely rub down for 9pence. My demands are simple, and I expect the present Prime Minister to satisfy them in full. Yes, remember, my ultimate deterrent is poised over your head.
There's a frightening thought. What is he doing, Joe?
Well, I don't know, do I?
I'm starting a popular movement.
Yes. Jo, how long has this been going on?
Well, since last week. Apparently the new Director General nicked his place in the bicycle rack at Broadcasting House.
Oh, is that all?
What worries me is this ultimate deterrent he's supposed to have.
Oh, that? He showed it to me once. It's pathetic. A pair of rusty iron anvils tied together with string.
Well, that wouldn't do anybody any harm.
You try picking it up, love.
I need men behind me. Men who don't know the meaning of the word trepidation.
Trepidation?
You'll do. Follow me and wave this copy of my little red book, The Thought of Kenneth Williams.
Thought?
He's only got the one.
It's onwards, outwards, upwards to a better tomorrow where men are men and women are women.
Well, he's in there somewhere.
Listen. We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight in the streets. With you. Oh, we happy few.
Have you quite finished?
Yes. Oh, I did enjoy that. Oh, I enjoyed it. Off my chest. Oh, I love that.
I'm glad somebody did.
Yeah.
Now, to give the show a little tone, which it so badly needs, we continue our tour of the ancestral home of the Earl of Shotterley.
Yes, welcome to Toll Purchase Hall. The room I'm in today is reputed to be haunted by a fearful apparition known as the Whirling Monk. He was a whirler, you see. Yes, he appears on alternate Fridays and has a weird and ghastly habit. As he comes out of the wardrobe, crosses the room and disappears through that wall where there used to be a door leading to the bathroom. Couple of minutes later, he returns and goes back in the wardrobe, as if some strange inner call has been answered. Of course, I've never seen him myself, but the last chambermaid reported mysterious knockings in the small hours and was forever rushing onto the landing crying, "Oh, I've seen it! I've seen it!" Yeah, silly. Yeah. Mind you, I'm very sceptical about these ghost stories.
I'm sorry to interrupt, my lord, but I've just seen a monk with his tonsure tucked underneath his arm. He disappeared through that wall.
Oh, absolute rubbish. Ghosts, indeed. I've just had the place exorcised. Cost me a fortune. What wall did you say?
That one over there.
Oh, I don't believe you. Oh, well, the vicar will hear about this.
And now it's Cracker Jack and Nori with Mother Time. When the music stops, Maud Nethersoul will start telling one of her stories. And after that, it's every man for himself.
Hello, Tinies, and Hugies too. What a helpful man the plumber is, isn't he? Anyway, mine is. Now, here's a story about someone who longed to become a plumber. A little girl called Florence.
Why, Buzzy's older than the plumbers in ever.
She said. But, Florence, said her daddy, only little boys become plumbers, but you could become a plumber's mate. And Florence said... That's just. Which was very rude of her, wasn't it? And she went upstairs and wrote to Father Christmas asking for a blow lamp. But howsomever one day, all the taps in Florence's home stopped working. And after several weeks, Daddy said, "We can't go on like this, Agnes. Better send for Mr. Potts, the plumber, and tell him to bring his plunger with him." Well, Mr. Potts examined all their pipes, and then he took a look under the kitchen sink. And what do you think he found? Florence. "Hello, Florence," he said. "What are you doing there?" "So I see," said Mr. Potts. "And it's very naughty of you to turn off the stopcock. Turn it on at once." And she did. And they were all drowned. Except Florence, who lived happily ever after. Now, wasn't that a lovely story?
I don't know how she has the nerve.
And now, here's a song we can all dance to, and while I'm singing it, I shall be dancing too.
For mercy, we're not on television.
I'm a falling leaf, dancing in the breeze, and I sing a little song as well, of a leaf who used to be very high upon a tree, but is really rather glad she fell. I'm an autumn breeze, dancing with a leaf underneath her family tree. The leaf grew on a bough, but she isn't on it now, and the one who blew her off was me. I'm a great big tree, swaying in the breeze. My branches are completely bare. Once I had a leaf, but that leaf has come to grief, and I can't say that I really care, 'cause I've got a nest of robins in my hair.
Once again, we open the pages of my amazing pull-out supplement.
And on page 1, our very own Correspondence Corner.
Oh, a heartless thief has stolen the saddle from my bicycle, and I feel deeply wounded.
Yes, you would. Next.
I think I'm turning into a hermaphrodite. What can I do?
Several things spring to mind. Next.
People ignore me and pay no attention to what I say. Nobody ever listened to me. What can I do?
Next.
See, I told you.
I'm the mother of 19 children, and in these troubled times, my husband wonders if we're doing the right thing.
Can there be any doubt? Now we come to the feature we call Vardying Back, where famous personalities recall their early struggles. And today we hear about the life of a test pilot from two of those magnificent men in their flying machines.
Oh, hello, I'm Blue Max, and this is my friend and co-pilot, Sopwith Puck.
Oh, yes, how very aeronautical to Vardy a control tower through me flying goggles.
I see you're both wearing parachutes as well. Or are they bustles?
Only bones!
No, love, they're parachutes, all right. Ran them up ourselves, we did.
Yes.
850 yards round the hem they are. Every stitch done by hand.
Yes, my hand.
Well, you're good.
And then, if you please, he wants sequins on his.
Well, nothing elaborate, you know, just the odd cluster.
Yes, you and your odd cluster. Suppose some of them drop off when you're doing a jump. Well, you can get a very nasty bruise from a falling sequin.
Sounds terribly dangerous work.
Oh, he's still here, is he? Here, tell about how you got your pilot's license.
Oh, I don't think I should.
Go on, tell him.
No, the remembrance is too painful.
Oh, go on, get it out. Purge yourself.
All right.
Yes.
Well, I had this instructor, see.
Yes, tell him his name. Tell him his name. It was Clint, wasn't it? Clint. Yeah, it was Clint.
Clint, yes.
Go on, go on.
Well, Clint sort of took me under his wing, didn't he?
Yeah. Took him under his wing, Dee. Got the chocks out.
Oh, I love the soft sentence.
You fooled the things in front of the wheels.
Oh, sorry.
Sentence. Things in front of the wheels.
Wheels,
Go
yeah.
on.
I'm with you now.
Go on.
He asked me if I fancy a quick flip.
Yes, and you did. And you did. Yeah.
Any road up, one thing led to another, and Clint said, oh, I can't.
Go on. Tell him. Go on.
He said I was ready to try the pilot's seat. But he said not to worry because he would be right behind me.
Right behind me.
Anyway, we're up to 1,000 feet and just cruising.
Yes.
Somewhere over the Isle of Man.
Nice.
Yes.
That
When suddenly we hit an air pocket and the plane goes into a dive, I turned to Clint for guidance and he's not there!
Clint's not there,
Not
of course
there.
not. He's still on the ground.
Yes.
Imagine it, Ducky. The plane plunging downwards towards the sea.
See?
The wind screaming up at him.
Screaming.
Him screaming back. He tries to bail out, but his ripcord's all knotted round the joystick. Then tell him.
I hear Clint's voice coming up from ground control.
Use the ejector seat, he shouts. Use the ejector seat. It's your only hope. But did he use it? Did he?
No, I didn't.
Why ever not?
Tell him why you didn't use the ejector seat.
Well, I hate being sent up.
Once again, it's time for yet another return visit from our wandering pop group. Those two hits and a misses, Peter, Paul and Mrs. Nosepoultice.
Right beyond the show, all that jazz.
And are you about to amaze us with another infectious ditty culled from the substrata of some primitive community?
Oh, certainly not. We're going to sing.
I was afraid you might.
It's a track from our latest folk album, which has just come into the charts at number 3.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, in Formosa.
We've stayed around and played around Camden Town too long.
Summer's been and gone.
And winter's coming on.
We've stayed around and played around Camden Town too long. It's time we all moved on. We'll hit the trail to Maida Vale or maybe Golders Green.
I've heard from folks who've been, the beds are very clean.
They've got a lovely cemetery, the best you've ever seen.
It's time we all moved on.
A lady who my brother knew had been to Finchley West.
And she was most impressed.
Oh, Finchley West is best, 'cause there you'll find they drop the blind before they get undressed. It's time we all moved on.
They say it's good in Cricklewood and nice in Easton too.
The buses run right through, you're on the Bakerloo.
And can the things we've heard about cockfosters all be true?
It's time we all moved on.
Good evening, folks.
It's time we all moved on.
Once again, we come to our film adaptation. This week, a science fiction film with a difference. In association with Stanley Halfbrick, we proudly present 2002, A Space Oddity. The dawn of man. A small group of hairy, brutish figures are huddling in a gully. As we move closer to see what they're doing, we ask ourselves, Can these be men? And as we move closer still, we conclude that some of them must be. We sent our roving reporter to interview them.
Hello, I'm standing by these ape creatures with a microphone in my hand.
Ain't that an anachronism?
No, it's a microphone. Now, can you tell me something about yourself?
Well, we are your actual first generation, and we're busy learning how to make things.
But such as what?
A second generation.
Yeah, it was trial and error, but I think we finally hit on how it's done.
Yeah?
We rubbed 2 sticks together.
Genius!
Oh, yeah, that's nothing, though. You should see the way we try to make fire.
But mankind is not to stay at this level. Oh, neither is the humour, I hope. The turning point is the sudden appearance of something huge and alien.
Oh, look, a black monolithic slab.
Well, why don't you touch it and see what happens?
Hang on, let's have a look at the slab first.
As he reached out and touched the slab, something strange, mysterious, and rather wonderful happened. It fell on him. His mind began to work.
Yeah, I just thought of an invention. Look, a round, flat thing to go on the corner of carts with spokes and a steel rim.
What are you going to call it?
Fire. Let's have our glass of wine to celebrate. What have we got?
Well, there's a bottle of bone, E01.
Is that a good year?
No, but it's the only one we got. Cheers.
They drained their glasses and flung the bottle of bone high in the air. It cartwheeled lazily and... 4 million years later. Oh, the magic of radio. It became a rocket ship approaching an orbiting space station.
The rocket now approaching Space Platform 4 is the 222 from Venus. Passengers for the moon and Finchley Central change and...
Miss, my name is Dr. Rapacious Dose Frittering. I want you to fly me to the moon.
Oh, yes.
And let me play among the stars. Let me know what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, second-class return, please. Thank you.
Welcome to the moon, Dr. Loosefritting. Thank goodness you've come. We've discovered another black monolithic slab, and it seems to be sending out some sort of alien message.
To whom?
Granny and the twins, and all at number 10 Sebastopol Terrace, Jupiter.
Jupiter?
A multi-million-pound expedition was launched towards Jupiter. Aboard the mighty spaceship were 2 astronauts. First, Gramercy Muckwicket.
That's me. My spacesuit has a life support system based on constantly recirculating moisture.
The second astronaut was the superbly trained Cyril Tutt.
Yes, I can do things in free fall that make your eyes pop out. Oh, you can rely on me to hold up my end.
Yes. There was one snag having Cyril on the mission. You see, he liked to sleep with the windows open. It's silly, really, because outside was a complete vacuum of space.
I, Douglas Smith, play the complete vacuum. I have an extendable nozzle for getting into awkward corners, and I suck up filth wherever I go. You can get me going by plugging me in at any point. Why not try me on your carpet?
I should be so desperate.
Suck, suck.
Also, aboard ship was a fantastic computer called Sal.
Hello, boys. Yes, I have been made so that I can talk. Though you'd never guess it from the last 2 pages. I'm in charge of the ship, and I'm completely infallible. Ellen.
Oh, give her a bang.
Mary had a little lamb, the midwife had a fit. Exterminate all earth creatures. Thanks for the memory. They say a computer is neuter. It suits as a mute sort of tutor. I refute with a hoot you're a dissolute newt and en route for a boot up the hooter.
Yes, I think we may have trouble, huh? Gramercy. Where's Gramercy Muckwicket? What have you done with him, you tin witch?
I've sent him to play outside.
Evil chuckle as of computer gone round the twist.
Outside without his wellies. You know what's out there.
Suck.
Yes, sad to say I was finished. A dried up husk. Spinning slowly towards the sun. But the mighty spaceship sped onwards to its destination.
You've killed him, you cybernetic coquette. Very well, you leave me no choice. I shall strip down your working parts.
Oh, no, not that!
Yes, I wipe your spools, so...
Get down, I'm ticklish.
Then I pull out your sensitised flip-flop, so... And I cut off your input-output selectors. And twist your digital diodes. There.
Oh, dear, you are.
Yeah, now you do it to me. She's doing
it's another black monolithic slab.
Let's see. Intergalactic Cornflakes Company. Black monolithic slab number 3. Collect the full set and win a fortnight's holiday in Venus.
On the other side, it's the Stop Messing About orchestra and chorus popping up yet again at the crucial moment with a cheery song to get us out.
2001, when man begun, when he developed space drive.
4 million years to the closing credits, but it felt more like 5. Hey!
So ends this week's film adaptation. All that remains is a comment from Mr. Paddock.
I never file my fingernails. Just throw them away.
And a word from Kenneth Williams to the man who waved at him from the pink Rolls Royce.
I got your number, Ducky.
That was Stop Messing About with Kenneth Williams, Hugh Paddock, Joan Sims and the Max Harris Group. The script was by Johnnie Mortimer and Brian Cooke and Myles Rudge. The producer was John Simmons.
I don't like it. There's a submarine about somewhere. I know you can't see it, but it's there, I tell you, waiting, lurking, lying silently on the bottom. We've got to find it, Carruthers. We've got to.
Oh, it's all right, darling. I found it. It was down by... It was down by the plug hole. Pass the soap.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present Kenneth Williams, Hugh Paddock and Joan Sims in...
No, stop messing about.
Hello,
and welcome to another half hour of exposure to the incomparable delights of your one and only me. Kenneth P. Williams, your actual star of stage, screen, at P? That's right, it's usually silent or frozen. As I was saying...
Wait a minute. I've got something to say. It's about this script. Joan and I got together yesterday and we expurgated quite a lot.
Well, if that's what turns you on.
Well, we had to. It's riddled with double entendres and words that mean more than one thing. But that's one of them.
Take the script apart and we'll censor it. Yes. Liberal use of the red pencil is called for.
Surely it's blue.
Eh? What?
Surely it's blue.
Well, of course it is. That's why we're using the red pencil, you fool. Right, now this can go, and this.
And that.
Oh, yes. Yes, and you can take that 3 ways, and they're all awful.
And this, and this.
Oh, definitely. This is terrible. Funny, though.
That's out, and so's the whole page. That's that one. Right, what's left now? We've cleaned it up.
That was Stop Messing About with Isadora, Hugh Paddock and Joan Sims. The script was...
Hey, hang on. Wait a minute. Oh, Lord, what have we done?
Well, I think we should all go back to the status quo.
Yes, let's do that. It's down the hallway and first on the left. Right. Carry on, Smith. The floor is yours.
And now, a special treat for garden lovers. The Earl of Shotterley has very kindly offered to show us around the grounds of his ancestral home.
Welcome to the gardens. Welcome to the gardens of Tol Purgis Hall. As I stand here beneath the dovecot. Oh dear, yes. A little to the left of the dovecot. I'm surveying a charming pastoral scene. Her ladyship is bedding out her sweet Williams and Dibble, the gardener, is watering the delphiniums. Use the hose, Dibble. Take all day with that little watering can.
Dibble, stop it!
Oh, really? Dibble, don't point it at her ladyship. Face the other way, man. No, not this way. Stop touching your forelock and get a towel. Give her ladyship a rub down. Where was I? Oh, yes. Across the lake is a very interesting Palladian edifice known as the Duke of Upcaster's Folly. The Duke was a man of many attributes until the Battle of Blenheim, when he lost a toe and 1 or 2 other things, which rather put paid to his favourite pastime, landscape gardening. However, the other...
Dibble, don't!
Oh, really? Dibble, you idiot! I said a towel, not a trowel! Go and prune the pergola, man, and leave her ladyship alone. She'll soon dry off if she keeps moving. Run round the lawn a few times, dear.
Oh, very well, Grace.
Your Grace. Show a bit of respect. Now then, on your mark, get set. Serves you right, Dibble. Right in his weed basket. Now you know how the Duke of Upcaster felt.
And now it's Cracker Jack and Nori with Mother Time. And pedalling across the studio, on her fairy cycle, here comes Maud Nethersole.
Hello, Tinies, and Biggies, too. I've got such a lovely big mail this week. Lots of letters. Lots of letters from Tinies asking for more animal stories. Well, Once upon a time, there were 486 bears. Their names were George, Alice, Pam, Maximilian, Edith, Sydney, Ramona, and all the others were called Fred. They all lived in a tree in the forest, a big tree with lots of branches, some of which stayed open late on Thursdays. One day, Pam Bear said to Sydney Bear,
"Have you noticed that George Bear never eats bacon? I wonder if he's Jewish."
And Sydney Bear, who was only 3, said,
"Shut up on these two Jewish."
"I see," said Pamela Bear. "There's no need to turn grizzly. I was only making conversation." And this led to an argument. Now, sitting under the tree was Mr. Pimble, the friendly postman, who was reading an undelivered picture postcard with a message on the back saying, "Having a wonderful time at Wormwood Scrubs Prison. Wish you were here. All the best, Maureen." At which point Sydney Bear fell out of the tree and landed on the other end of the bench that Mr. Pimble was sitting on. "Woof!" said Mr. Pimble, or words to that effect. And he shot up into the air and landed in the nest of a large bird whose name escapes me. The bird popped a worm into his mouth and told him not to eat it too quickly. And George Bear, who had heard every word, turned to the other 483 bears and said,
That bird has a cuckoo in its nest disguised as a postman, or vice versa."
And he ran off and joined a circus as a performing seal. Which is why you must always make sure you're at the front of an elephant before you try to feed him. Unless I've left something vital out of the story. And now for our song.
Somebody stop her. It's describing.
Here's one specially for the tinies, but I'm sure the biggies will enjoy it too.
No comment.
Oh, have you been to Gooseberry Fair? Parsley, sage and onion. There's a gentleman there with ginger hair, and if you meet him, better beware. With parsley, sage and gammon and spinach, hey ho, says Anthony Rowley. Oh yes, I've been to Gooseberry Fair. Parsley, sage and onion. And I met a man there, but his hair was fair. He was dancing a jig in his underwear. With parsley, sage and gammon and spinach, hey ho, says Anthony Rowley. Are you sure you've been to Gooseberry Fair? Parsley, sage and onion. It wasn't the Raspberry Fair instead. Well, maybe it was, but it's time for bed. With parsley, sage and gammon and spinach, let's take the stairs very slowly. Right ho, says Anthony Rowley.
Now we come to Vardying Back, when people who have made it tell us how they did it. Here are 2 of London's leading restaurateurs to tell us about their early struggles over a hot stove.
Oh, hello, I'm Gaston. This is mon ami and business confrère Jacques.
Yes, how very delicioso to Vardy a dolly au table d'hôte.
Now, I understand you have a small chain of restaurants.
Yeah, well, it's not so much a chain, it's more of a charm bracelet, really, isn't it?
Yes, I noticed you jangled a bit.
Sauce boat!
And how did all this start?
Oh, well, I've always liked pretty things. Providing they're tasteful, of course.
He means the restaurants, you great lummox.
Oh, sorry. Oh, dear. Lummox, indeed. Well, We began with a snack bar down the Elephant and Castle, the Bijou Bite, it was called. Nothing fancy, of course, just toad in the hole, Welsh and chips. But it seemed to catch on, didn't it?
It was your speciality de la maison, what did it?
Oh, yeah.
Elephant and Castle pudding. Yes. Oh. It took 2 of us to get it out the oven. Oh. But it was Fade. Oh, he got the touch, you see.
Yeah.
Touch.
Well, I do have this certain facility.
Oh, we can knock up a souffle with one hand behind his back.
Yes.
He's often had to, haven't you?
Oh, trouble is, you see, the kitchen is so small. That's why we had to extend our premises.
Needed to enlarge ourselves,
Yes,
we did. So we took over Sid's transport cafe on the M1 motorway, done it all up Spanish.
Yeah, stuck a rose behind the waiter's ear hole and called the place El Cid, didn't
El Cid, yes. And the me and you, Ducky, all Spanish. Like eating your way through the Iberian Peninsula it was, wasn't it?
Yes, there was. We had the toad in the Olay, your Spanish Welsh rarebit flamenco style.
And steak and El Sydney pudding.
Yes.
A dish fit for a king, Ducky, or any other royal personage.
Oh, and them lorry drivers, do you remember? Wanted a second helping of everything, didn't they?
Most of them got it too. That's why we had to open another branch in Crouch End, actually.
But I think it was the El Cid that first brought us to notice of the public, don't
Yes,
you know?
and the police.
Yeah.
Yes. Tell him for why.
Oh, no, I shouldn't.
Go on.
No, I can't.
Go on.
No.
Get it out. Get it out.
Well, see, I had taken on this Spanish head waiter, see, and...
Yes, tell him his name. Tell him his name.
Well...
Tell him his name. No. It was L. Clint, wasn't it?
Well, Al Clint, as you so rightly have it. I met him when I was up Torreonimus. That's next door to Malaga, you know.
That's right.
It's strictly a business trip, of course.
Yes, hoping to pick up some local dishes, wasn't you?
Yes, I was. Yes, just to enlarge my gastronomic repertoire. But anyhow, this L. Clint said he wanted to work in England and he was open to offers.
He'd come over if you pay his fare. And you did, didn't you? First class.
First class.
And bought him a new pair of castanets.
Oh, yeah. His others was very shabby. But I thought he might knock off a number or two while serving the hors d'oeuvres, you know.
He'd have knocked off anything, that one.
Yes.
Picture the scene, Ducky. The gala opening of the El Cid, the place packed with celebrities, hanging from the chandelier, leery they were. Oh, with their yes, they were hanging. Oh, with their tongues hanging out, waiting for the first course. And where was El Clint?
He hadn't arrived?
No, he'd arrived all right, along with his wife, 16 children, and his gypsy grandmother. They'd all been arrested. And tell him for why.
I can't. I keep trying to put it behind me.
Oh, you can tell. You can tell Uncle Douglas, can't you?
Oh. Tell him what L. Clint and his family was doing all up and down the M1 motorway.
They was camping.
And now it's my pleasure, for want of a better word, and I can think of several, to introduce that trendy trio with a difference, Peter, Paul, and Mrs. Nosepoultice.
Oh, nice to have a pleasure.
Sock it to me and all that song.
Yes, well, what song are you going to sing for us this week?
Well, it's a traditional bit of folk that went over very big during our successful season at the Copacabana.
Tulse Hill.
I'm all anticipation.
When I was a bachelor, I got fed up, being lonesome as can be.
So he bought a little dog, an Alsatian pup, to keep him company.
The landlord said no dogs allowed, and that applies to you.
So I slipped him off a quid, and I became a member of the doggy feud.
When I was a spinster, I lived all alone in a flat on the second floor.
She didn't have a friend to call her own, so she bought a Labrador.
They started to chat of this and that, the way dog owners do.
And I felt very chuffed when he took me to crafts with members of the doggy feud.
No, I'm not a bachelor living alone.
And I'm
no longer a spinster.
They're running a beauty shop for dogs in the borough of Westminster.
It all began when two dogs met
For a moonlight rendezvous.
And the mongrel living here is a souvenir. And a very odd dog it is too.
Time now for our film adaptation, A Tale to Ring Your Withers, if you've brought them along. Yes, it's the story of the orphan boy who asked for more. Oliver Stick.
Shouldn't that be Twist?
Oh, very well, Twist. Oh, damn it, bust, I'm over 21.
Don't worry, we all are, Jackie.
The scene of Foundling's workhouse in the 19th century.
I'm Mr. Fumble the Beetle. I stand at the head of the table with me hand upon me staff.
Oh, you are awful.
Yes. But I must get on with dishing out the gruel. Who next?
Please, sir, it's me, sir. Oliver Stick, sir. Can I have some more gruel, sir?
More gruel? More? Ungrateful whelp! Have you ever heard me asking for more?
Well, the other night when you were with Matron...
I'm talking about food!
Oh, sir, do not be too hard on the lad. He was orphaned 2 years before he was born. Then left in a wickerwork container, a shabby little basket.
Oh, whose side are you on?
Plead not for him, matron. I have decided. I shall fling the snivelling wretch out into the snow.
But it's mid-July.
I can wait, boy. I can wait.
Oranges! Buy my ripe oranges!
Quite a short-sighted match seller. It was some time later. Young Oliver Stick was now bound apprentice to an elderly undertaker.
Yes, very good, boy. You've made your first coffin. Now, screw on the lid. Yes. Very good. You've only made one little mistake, boy.
What is that, sir?
You're supposed to be out here.
Oliver was not a success as an undertaker. Once he varnished a corpse instead of the coffin.
Still he had a lovely finish. I decided to run away.
After that joke, I don't blame you.
That's your row.
Yes, to run away to old London town.
At this point, I, Douglas Smith, take on the role of Old London Town. Already I'm beginning to spread in all directions. I have a Moorgate in front of me and a Wapping behind.
I'm saying nothing, mate.
My East End is rather scruffy, but my West End lights up at night. From time to time, worthy citizens are given the freedom of me.
Nice.
Alone in this strange, smelly old Douglas Smith.
Hello, I'm the Artful Nudger. My master Fagin is always on the lookout for likely young lads.
Well, actually, I'm waiting for a friend.
No, but listen. Fagin can teach you to put your hand in a pocket so that no one will notice.
Ooh, what are we waiting for then?
So you're young Oliver, eh, my dear? I'm Fagin. Now, you've met the Artful Nudger, and this is Nancy.
Who's going to play the Nancy part?
Well, I was thinking...
Yes. Well, it's obviously got to be Miss Sims, who will now sing us a song about her osteopath.
As long as he needs me.
Now then, Oliver. Come here, my dear. I shall teach you the art of pinching wallets. First, I want you to do it with 2 fingers.
Well, like this, then.
Show a little respect, my boy. Look, I'll tell you what to do. Why not try it with Nancy?
What, here?
Oh, good idea. I'll try and pinch your valuables without you noticing them.
Good. Now, let's see what you've learned, son. Gently now. Gently. Yes, very nearly right. I did spot a couple of boobs. My dear, now I'm going to teach you how to distinguish fake jewellery from the real thing, my dear, just by tasting it.
You got to lick a locket or two. You got to lick a locket or two.
Some days later, Oliver was ready to begin his life of crime. He and Nancy set out to scour my backwaters, looking for a likely place to dip somebody.
Look, Oliver, see that rich gent with the gold watch standing over there by the horse trough? See if you can lift it.
Right. Here I go.
No, love, not the horse trough, the gold watch.
Oh, sorry. I'll try again.
Gently now. Yes, now slip your hand in the pocket. Easy. His pocket, love, not yours. Let's see. That's it, gently.
You turned my trousers off, boy. Why?
I thought your legs might be hot.
How thoughtful. Here's a sovereign.
My husband and I.
Said the man's wife.
My husband and I once had a little son who looked like you. Tell me, boy, have you got a strawberry birthmark on your left deltoid?
No, I haven't.
Then you must be he. He didn't have one either.
And so they took the scruffy, ragged little lad back to their mansion, and there, waiting to greet him, were none other than the Stop Messing About-ettes with full orchestra.
Hello, Ollie. This is our finale.
And there's over 20 verses to this song.
Oh, no.
We'll just sing one, Ollie.
Only one. Golly.
Then we'll stop it and we'll hop it.
Oh, the sketch will be too long.
We know you've been slumming by the faint humming. One of those old familiar pongs from way back when. Oh, golly gosh, Ollie.
You need a darn good wash, Ollie.
Ollie, never go away.
Move upwind a bit, but stay.
Ollie, never go away.
So ends this week's film adaptation. We now have a final word from Dr. Schnitzelwurm.
Parenthood is definitely hereditary. If your parents didn't have any children, the chances are you won't have any either.
That was Stop Messing About with Kenneth Williams, Hugh Paddick, Joan Sims, and the Max Harris Group. The script was by Johnnie Mortimer and Brian Cooke and Myles Rudge. The producer was John Simmons.